It was just another day in Salem, until everything collapsed. Days of Our Lives is setting the stage for one of its most emotional and dangerous twists in recent memory. A potential kidnapping, a desperate cover-up, and 4 devastating words that could change Doug Williams III's life forever. It's all my fault. So what happened? How did a sweet moment between Doug and Holly Jonas spiral into chaos? Let's unpack all the clues, the chilling implications, and what this could mean for Holly's fate, Maggie's fortune, and Doug's soul. Doug Williams III didn't come to Salem to cause more trouble. In fact, he's been working hard to turn over a new leaf. After walking away from the luxury and tension of the Kuriakis mansion, Doug has tried to live a quieter, simpler life. He took a job washing glasses and sweeping floors at Brady's pub, rented a tiny room above the bar, and distanced himself from the high-stakes chaos that once defined his existence. But the past doesn't let go that easily. And neither does Holly Jonas. Despite the age gap and the warnings from others, Holly has always been drawn to Doug. Maybe it's his charm, or maybe it's the belief that beneath his troubled past lies a man trying desperately to change. She's fascinated by him, and in recent episodes, particularly on May 6, viewers saw that admiration on full display. Holly stopped by Brady's with a smile on her face and a sparkle in her eyes, eager to check in on Doug. She asked about his new job, teased him about his tiny living quarters upstairs, and laughed like someone without a care in the world. For a moment, the world faded away. It was just the two of them, bonding, joking, maybe even dreaming. But reality wasn't far behind. What neither of them realized was that someone else was there, lurking, just out of view. A camera lens focused, a shutter clicked, and their innocent moment was quietly stolen and preserved by someone with sinister intentions. Those photos weren't taken by accident. They were taken for a reason. Months ago, Holly had no idea that her casual words would make her a target. Back then, she offhandedly mentioned Doug's trouble with some shady figures, criminals who had been pressuring him for money. At the time, her comments didn't seem to amount to anything. But behind the scenes, Days of Our Lives was planting a seed. And now, that seed has sprouted into something dangerous. The same people Doug tried to escape are back, and this time, they're more desperate, more aggressive, and more focused than ever. They want money, more than before, and they want it now. Doug knows what they're capable of. He's seen their ruthlessness firsthand. That's why he moved. That's why he pushed Holly away. He thought he could sever the connection before they noticed her. But he was wrong. Holly's frequent visits, her public affection, her association with Doug, all of it has put a target on her back. And for the criminals watching from the shadows, the realization is clear. Holly Jonas isn't just Doug's friend, she's a bargaining chip. She's young, she's beloved, and most importantly, she's connected to Maggie Kuriakis, a woman who just dropped $1 million at a charity auction without blinking. To these men, that's not generosity, it's opportunity. They don't see Holly as a person. They see her as leverage, a path to fast cash. And the secret photos taken of her and Doug might be the first step in a well-planned scheme, a kidnapping plot built on timing, greed, and the false sense of safety Holly never realized she lost. Doug feels it, the fear, the guilt, the rising panic. He knows the look in their eyes, even if they haven't made contact yet. He can feel the trap closing in, and the unbearable truth that no matter how hard he tried to do the right thing, he may have led danger straight to her doorstep. Why Holly? Of all the people in Salem, why would ruthless criminals single out a young woman with no enemies, no criminal history, and no reason to be in their crosshairs? The answer lies not in who Holly is, but in who she's connected to. Doug once lived in the Kuriakis mansion, a property dripping in wealth and influence. The criminals who targeted him back then were well aware of its value, and more importantly, of its residents. They know that behind those lavish walls are deep pockets and people who will pay dearly to protect their loved ones. But Doug leaving the mansion didn't close the door on danger, it may have opened another one. Now staying in a modest room above Brady's pub, Doug likely thought he was out of the spotlight. But when Holly began visiting him, checking in, spending time, laughing with him in public, those innocent moments became a trail of breadcrumbs for people who were still watching. Those photos? They weren't snapshots taken out of curiosity. They were calculated reconnaissance, proof that Holly is not just some friendly visitor, she's Doug's weak spot, someone he cares about, someone visibly close to him, and most crucially, someone who could be used to force his hand. But the danger goes deeper than just Doug. These men know who Holly's family is. Maggie Kuriakis recently made headlines for offering $1 million in a high-profile charity auction. That act alone signaled one thing to the criminal underworld: the Kuriakis' fortune is real, and it's accessible. To them, Holly Jonas isn't just a girl. She's a payday, a pawn in a game that could shake the Kuriakis family to its core. And the most tragic part? Holly may never see it coming. Her kindness, her loyalty, her innocent desire to reconnect with Doug, it's all been weaponized against her. If this plot is unfolding the way it appears, then Holly isn't just caught in the crossfire, she's been hunted, identified, and chosen. Not because of who she is, but because she trusted the wrong man at the wrong time. Picture this. Doug is cleaning up at Brady's pub, maybe stacking chairs or counting tips from a quiet night. His phone buzzes. He sees Maggie's name, but when he picks up, her voice isn't calm. It's shaking. Then someone else calls. Then a third person. The room spins. The messages blur. And then the one thing no one ever wants to hear: Holly is missing. No trace. No message. No witnesses. Just emptiness. Doug's chest tightens. His mouth goes dry. He doesn't need anyone to explain what happened, he already knows. The final blow lands when a ransom note arrives, addressed to Maggie Kuriakis, demanding an impossible sum for Holly's safe return. But Doug doesn't need to read the note. He could have written it himself. He knows the pattern. He's seen this kind of operation before. And more than anyone, he knows exactly what they're capable of. As the realization hits him, a single thought swallows him whole. It's all my fault. 4 words. Simple. Devastating. They may come out in a whisper, or in a scream. But in that moment, Doug's world collapses. The guilt is instant and absolute. He let her visit. He didn't push her away hard enough. He underestimated the reach of the people he once owed. And now Holly, a girl who trusted him, who looked up to him, is gone. Doug may try to explain. He may go to Maggie. To the police. To anyone who will listen. But will it matter? Can guilt be undone? Can a mistake be reversed? And if Holly is never found, if something unspeakable happens, will Doug ever forgive himself? He doesn't need Maggie's wrath. He doesn't need Salem to turn on him. Because Doug already has the one punishment no one else can deliver: the crushing weight of knowing he handed Holly over to the enemy. In the hours after Holly's disappearance, blame will be a weapon, and Doug Williams III will be its first target. The moment the news spreads, Maggie Kuriakis will be inconsolable. Her granddaughter, her heart, her family, snatched away. And the man she once defended? The man she gave a second chance to? He may now be the very reason Holly's life is in danger. Maggie isn't just grieving, she's furious. And beneath that fury is something colder: betrayal. She opened her home to Doug, gave him shelter, forgiveness, and a path to redemption. But now, all she can see is that her trust may have placed Holly directly in the crosshairs of Salem's worst predators. Doug may plead. He may try to explain. But in Maggie's eyes, there may be no explanation good enough to erase what's happened. And Maggie won't be alone in her rage. Tate Black, who's grown close to Holly in recent weeks, will be equally devastated. Tate's feelings for her are genuine. He admires her bravery, her heart, her light. And now that light is missing. To Tate, Doug didn't just let Holly down, he may have used her, knowingly or unknowingly, as a human shield against his own past. Then there's Philip Kyriakis. Spoilers suggest he'll soon be hospitalized after a violent confrontation, and there's a strong possibility it's connected to the kidnapping. Perhaps Philip witnessed the abduction and tried to intervene. Perhaps he tracked Doug's old contacts and walked straight into a trap. Either way, if Philip wakes up bruised and broken, the scars won't just be on his body, they'll live in his memory. And if Philip failed to stop Holly's kidnappers, he'll carry the burden of that moment for a long time to come. The question now isn't just who took Holly. It's who will pay the price for letting it happen. Once Holly is officially declared missing, Doug's world will begin to implode, and not just from the outside. Old secrets may resurface. His previous dealings with the criminal underworld could come back to haunt him in public. His name may be dragged through headlines. Reporters, law enforcement, even Salem's social circles could label him as either a suspect or a coward who enabled tragedy. But the true unraveling won't come from Maggie or Tate or even the law. It'll come from Doug's own guilt. He won't sleep. He won't eat. Every time someone says her name, he'll wince. Every time someone asks where she is, he'll hear those 4 words echo inside his head. It's all my fault. Doug may try to make things right. He may beg to help with the investigation. He may offer to personally hunt down the kidnappers, risking his life to redeem himself. He might try to trade himself for Holly, offer his own body in exchange if it means bringing her home. But even if he does succeed, even if Holly is found, safe and alive, will it be enough? The trauma, the betrayal, the panic Holly felt in those moments of terror, Doug will never unsee it. Even if the world forgives him, he may never forgive himself. And if the worst happens, if Holly doesn't survive, then Doug's 4 words won't just haunt him, they'll define him. He'll carry them like a scar across his soul. A reminder that sometimes, no matter how hard we try to escape the past, our mistakes catch up with the people we love most.